But you understand, we do have one game left to play. Hey, fantastic. Every single one of you. I mean, I'm not just talking about these last 60 minutes. I'm talking about the quarterback schools, the mini camp, the off-season, the training camp, down in Austin when it was hot and you were tired, the whole bit. And everybody, you did one hell of a job. And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
Yo, Cowboy fans only. Yo, look, this is for the Cowboy fans. 8th wonder Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan, yeah. This is for the Cowboy fans. 8th wonder Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. Yo. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan. It's time to eat, off tackle or the sweep. Behind Teron Collins, ain't no problem feeding Zeke. And Dak lick his chops when he see D Lamb deep. You know 88 tradition that repeat. Coop route like Irvin, watch for Cedric in the slot. See us try to gallop to the end zone, they can't stop. Dalton up the seam, Jarwin carving up your team. Tony Pollard, X Factor, Kellen Moore with the scheme. We applying pressure with Lawrence and Gregory. QB's getting sacked, can't relax, rehab therapy. Micah got a hit list, Jalen Smith hit stick. No escaping, Leighton got him. Craven with the pick six, dig that. Kazi go kamikaze, the defense is solid. Find me in Dallas at Jerry's Palace among stars. Screaming Cowboy fans only, yeah. Screaming Cowboy fans only. This is for the Cowboy fans. 8th wonder Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan, yeah. This is for the Cowboy fans. 8th wonder Jerry's World, yeah, we crowd those stands. Dak, he gon' spin it like a fan. And you know ID coming with it, Coach Quinn got the plan. Shout out J Tuck. Subscribe to his YouTube page, Cowboy Fans Only. CowboysFansOnly.com for all your merchandise. Cowboys stand up.
Yo, what is up, CFO gang? It's your boy J Tuck. Real Cowboys fans, stand up. And if you're new, do us a huge favor. Comment, like, subscribe, somewhere down there, somewhere down there, somewhere down there. And be sure to turn on the notification bell. Stay updated with all Dallas Cowboys news and content. Also, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, JTuck151. And of course, CowboysFansOnly.com. I see everyone in the chat. They're already lit, ready to go. Salute to my guy, Steve. I got my guy, Banks, in the building. Florida Cowboy in the building. I got my guy, Brian, in the building. What's going on, everybody? So my guy, Mike, in the building. What's going on, everybody? So I definitely appreciate you guys. And since I have everybody here, you know, we're a family. And I want to quickly share something before we dive in. So if you haven't seen my post, I had the opportunity to be a part of the radio station of 810 Radio here in Kansas City, ESPN Radio. So I'm going to be doing some radio content on Sundays. Now, I know everyone's Florida, Kansas City, y'all spread out, but it's a good opportunity. So I'm definitely thankful for that. So I thank you for everyone who's been sending me all the well wishes. We're doing a lot. We're doing a lot, Cowboys Nation. So as you see, the channel is going to maybe take a slight turn. We're not going to fully change everything, but the Cowboys fans only thing, we might have to tuck that to the side, and we're going to change it to CFO Sports. So we're going to do completely new branding, but everything's going to remain as is. We are still going to be providing top-notch Dallas Cowboys content. But I have a lot of fan bases outside the NFL that wants to watch my draft content. They want to interact. I have guests that want to come on. So the Cowboys fans only thing is kind of like a gate, like Cowboys, so I have to kind of remove that. But, we're going to still bring you guys top-notch football content, and I cannot be more ecstatic about that. So salute to everyone. Thank you for everyone for all the well wishes, because I will not be here if it wasn't for you guys showing me support, whether it's here, Facebook, social media, wherever. We got some things to talk about. So, as you know, and this is why I cannot stop doing Dallas Cowboys content, because there's never a dull day, man. There's never a quiet day where Professor L says certified freaks only. Absolutely not. That is not going to be the new name. But there's never a dull moment in Cowboys Nation. So yesterday, I was kind of just minding my business, having a good old Monday, and Stephen Jones had to open his mouth. And when he did, I said, God damn it, man. Like, here we go. So we are going to address that, the offseason, and also the draft. But I had to bring on a special guest. She really isn't a guest. She is family as well. She has been on the show prior numerous times. You've probably seen her on Star Gang and other channels. She definitely does amazing draft content. So you definitely have to give her a follow. So ladies and gents, I'd like to welcome to the channel my girl, Camber. What's going on, Camber?
I'm so proud of you. It's been amazing to watch you grow. You've got such a great voice, such a good heart, and I'm just so happy for you. Thank
you. I definitely appreciate it. Like I said, I cannot do that without your guys' support. Like, it's all coming extremely fast, and it was funny because my Facebook was blowing up because the primary of my Facebook people are all Kansas Cityans. So they were like, how long will Tuck be able to go on this radio show and not talk about the Cowboys? And actually it was 17 seconds. Somebody timed me. So it was 17 seconds before I started talking about the Cowboys. So, it is what it is. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. So, it just happened to be in the wrong area code. But like I said, it's a testament to everybody. Like I see you doing amazing things. My guy Matt O is doing amazing things. Spoonie, Nix. Like, I love seeing that. I love people starting off in the Cowboys community and just rolling up their sleeves and making something happen, because for the most of us, this was just a hobby. It was just something to do. It was 2020. We were going through a pandemic. I had nothing going on. And my guy Skywalker was like, you should start a show. I said, why? And so I started it, and I actually went back and watched some of my first videos. Horrible. Go back if you want to laugh. Watch my very first video. Horrible, but I was enjoying it. And that's what I always said. At the end of the day, I love talking not only to Dallas Cowboys fans, but now NFL fans. And so as long as I keep that first, sky's the limit, and the same for you, Camber. But, let everybody know where they can find, because you've been doing big things. So it's not just I'm doing big things. You've been doing big things yourself.
Right. You can find me on Twitter. That's always the best place. And it's TOO_much_Camber. I'm also on Instagram when I remember to be on there. That's kind of a secondary type thing. Got some big things coming up. I can't tell you all of them, but y'all, me and some very, very special people, so close to my heart, true Cowboys fan. I admire them so much, and they bring on some of the best content. We've got something big that's going to be coming up and announced next month. The one little thing I can tell you is, I don't know if y'all know my girl Aisha, but her and I, this is the part I can share. She and I are going to have an all-females hosted Cowboy show. Not that the female part's going to matter, because we both will bring the football knowledge to you, but that's what I can share at this point.
Yeah. Lot of exciting things happening. And I feel like the off season is always the chance to grow. I don't want to give people the same content. Like, try new things. And I think you and Aisha are definitely going to kill it. If you guys have not joined a Twitter space, definitely join a Twitter space, because Nix, Aisha, Camber, they are always killing the Twitter spaces. I always chime in, but by the time I join the Twitter spaces, it's late Friday night. I've already had a few, and so I'm literally spaced out. But definitely give them a follow. It's always great talking Cowboys football. Now, Camber, let's go ahead and talk about it. So yesterday, I don't even know what do you want to call him? Because so many people call him different names. I just call him Stephen Jones. I know, but
There's Catboy. There's
Cowboy, yeah, it's just,
yeah.
yeah. So many names. Well, yesterday during the combine, Stephen Jones had to step in front of the mic, and honestly, y'all, I do not know why the Cowboys ownership just can't just stay away. Just stay away, to say no comment, not right now.
Right.
But there's the name, my guy Banks, Baby Nuts.
But here's part of the reason that they don't that they get to say what they want, and they do. They're the only GMs, because we truly have two GMs, that are not in fear of losing their job.
Right. Yeah.
They have a job. They're going to stay GM regardless of what this team does. They have a job.
Yeah. So they can just, say what they want, take the interviews, just kind of shoot off the cuss. But the first thing I want to get into was the Amari Cooper situation. So they asked him about Amari Cooper. Now, instead of just saying, you know what, Amari Cooper is a tremendous player. We love him in Dallas. We want to keep him in Dallas. We traded a #1 pick for Amari Cooper. Stephen Jones just swung the door open. He was talking about Amari's contract. Now, you got to look at different situation when it comes to, Amari. So, they're going to have a conversation. Why even address it? But from my perspective, Camber, it sounds like Stephen Jones is saying that Coop might be on the way out. Is that how you read his comments?
Absolutely. His comment pretty much put the NFL on notice that they're willing to talk, that listen to offers, and that he might not be here. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so my question is why? Why would you do that? And so we all know about Amari Cooper's contract, that we have to make a move possibly by March 20th, or he counts towards the books. Now, that's not official. We can still move post March 20th, but if he's still on the roster March 20th, he's going to count towards the book. So I think if we cut him pre-June, it's $16 million. I think if we do it post-June cut, we save around $19 to even $20 million. So we all kind of knew that this Amari Cooper situation could happen. One, by the way that they structured the contract, right? We always saw that out. When it was announced we signed him, we pulled him back from Washington. We saw that contract, and it's like, oh, well, it's 2022. This is, well, why would you set that up in the language? And then also last year they restructured Zeke. They were moving a lot of money around to sign Dak Prescott, but they didn't touch Amari Cooper. So me just kind of reading the tea leaves, y'all, I feel like Amari Cooper is on his way out in Dallas. I personally said numerous times, Camber, if the Cowboys knew that they were getting CeeDee Lamb at 17, they wouldn't have re-signed Amari Cooper in the first place. So now I feel like they have CeeDee. What happens with Michael Gallup remains to be unseen. There's a few wide receivers in the draft, which we'll speak about tonight. You possibly pick up, bring back Cedric Wilson or Malik Turner, and you try to move forward that way, and you save some money. But do you think that from a football perspective that we can afford to move on from Amari Cooper? I think that's where the Cowboys nations are really torn right now.
Okay. Money-wise, absolutely we can. Do I feel that we need... Amari does several things on the field. Besides the route running and his ability, he draws attention. He is what every defensive coordinator focuses on when they look at our wide receiver core. And I think that does help equate to the success of CeeDee, of Gallup, of anybody else on the field, because you've got your main focus on Amari, that it's allowing the others to be able to do some of what they do. I have a huge worry that, is CeeDee a wide receiver one? Is he a true outside guy? Is he a slot? If Amari leaves, are we looking for, I honestly think if Amari leaves, we're looking for an outside guy, and we're going to work CeeDee more in the slot in that way. I don't want to do it. You guys, let's take a little time back and go back to the wide receiver by committee.
Right.
That was
no
fun.
the reason why we had to go get Amari Cooper. And And I feel like that's why Cowboys fans right now are doom and gloom, because if you had to put money on Amari Cooper leaving or going, you're definitely going to put money on him going, because everything is just lining up for us to move on from Amari Cooper. And just from a football perspective, you want to have all of the best players on your roster as you can. And we're going to talk about that here in a second, but it seems like when it comes to the Cowboys mentality, they just don't grasp that. It's more about the cap. Like I said, I might go ahead and buy that cap jersey, online that says cap space on the back, number one, because that is the number one priority. Like, Stephen Jones had a full interview and he mentioned the cap space. Like, next time Stephen Jones does an interview, we're going to live stream it and we're all going to take a shot when he says cap space and draft picks. Cap space and draft picks. And it's just, we probably wouldn't last probably like 15 minutes into it, but that seems to be his focus. And it's frustrating as a Cowboys fan, especially an older Cowboys fan, because we came up under a completely different mentality. So the next question was asked, based on the Rams' success, how they were aggressive in free agency, does that sound like something the Cowboys would use as far as their approach? Stephen Jones said, well, we first and foremost, we got some money, but we want to make sure that we sign our guys. So we like our guys. Here we go again. Like, it's like deja vu, right? And he mentioned that, even if you do win a Super Bowl, the following years that you could still be in a bind and you're still going to pay guys, which can put you in trouble. So you're thinking about, he skipped over the Super Bowl and started focusing on signing the guys, paying the guys. And here's my thing. If you win a championship, you don't have to pay the guys out. Actually, go ask your neighbor and Mark Cuban, because he won a championship and didn't re-sign any of those players to run it back. So it's perfectly fine. But why would you even think conceptually that, that's not worth it? Like, if they brought us a Super Bowl and you had to lose a few players here and there, I guarantee any Cowboys fan watching this channel, outside of this channel, would care less. So it's like,
or maybe get out of his head that they don't need to repeat the early 90s.
Right.
Besides the Patriots, you don't do back-to-backs now. So go for that one. Don't worry about year 2, 3. Go get that one. It's been 26 years. Get the one.
Yeah.
And then break it after that.
And it's conflicting, right? We hear Jerry, I would do anything to win a Super Bowl, anything, there is no amount of check I wouldn't write, right? And then you hear Steven's like, no, we're not going to be writing any checks to buy a Super Bowl. We got to wait, it's like, and there was a stat that I posted on Twitter, and it was on Get Up, where the Cowboys, the Patriots, and the Steelers are the 3 lowest teams when it comes to spending in free agency. But it showed a huge discrepancy in the winning percentage between the Patriots, the Steelers, and the Cowboys. And I'm just like, yeah, you can be cheap in free agency. You can get some of these bargain, low tier players and try to build them up. When you have a Hall of Fame coach, when you have a Hall of Fame GM, and you really let the coaches do what they're supposed to do, we don't have that in Dallas. And so you can't give Mike McCarthy kind of bottom tier players in hopes he turns water into wine. And I said, the biggest issue that I had with last season is that Stephen Jones pulled it off. Look what I did with Jaron Kearse. Oh, we found Malik Hooker. He turned out incredible. Brent Urban was playing lights out before he went down. I can do it again. If I'm Stephen Jones, unfortunately, that's what he's thinking right now. I can do it again. I can find you another Randy Gregory. I can find you another Malik Hooker. And let's hope another Jaron Kearse.
And Quinn.
Yeah, I can find you. Yeah, exactly. And so it's just the mindset when it comes to the Cowboys is like, we spend money everywhere. You've been to numerous games. We're all out there, $1 billion playpen, money. But when it comes to actually putting that product out in the field, we want to get conservative, and it's frustrating. So I just think that Stephen Jones, y'all, I know that everyone wants to come at Jerry. Jerry is the mascot now. Jerry's just the guy, just the old guy. You let him talk, he'll give you little sound bites here and there. It is Stephen Jones, clearly his way of thinking, that is ruining the Dallas Cowboys. And I can clearly say that.
Yep. 100% agree.
Yeah. I mean, even back to when he was a kid, right? My guy Spoonie always talks about, Stephen Jones pushing his dad against the wall for him to not sign Deion Sanders. Like, all right. And now he has the keys, you know. Let's get into the chat, man. So I know how y'all feel, man. It's just unfortunate as a Cowboys fan because I don't think it's changing. I just don't see it changing anytime soon. And even if Mike McCarthy wants to take this new aggressive approach, we gotta go through upstairs first. The Reaper says, are we sure the Joneses put 88 on Lamb's back and get Cooper out of here so they can say they were right and have him as the number one wide receiver? I don't think that's the case, but what I will say, I believe the moment that CeeDee Lamb was drafted, he became the number one wide receiver in Dallas, period. Like, I just think that's just how they set things up. They didn't draft CeeDee Lamb at 17, put 88 on his back for him to be a slot guy or be a third option. Like, he was clearly going to be that guy. They just had some other players already in place. I don't think they planned for it, of course. It was a miracle, but since they got him, it's like, all right, we got this. We can get out in this contract. We can kind of run with the weapons for now, but once 2022 comes, then we can move on and move CeeDee, which we have arrived to that point. So, yeah. What's your thoughts on that, Camber?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we all know that Steven loves rookie contracts. You know, and the more he can save, the better it is. Right. You know, I know that people have a super ton of doubts about Simi Fehoko, but they picked him exactly for certain reasons. Big body wide receiver, super fast, rookie contract. You know, they're hoping to develop him because they protected him entire season. Because I know other teams were looking at him in those weeks that he was on the practice squad, and they protected him. So yeah, he's completely looking at that. He is going to try and get the best, the lowest contract he can out of Cedric. If we get to keep Malik Turner, we're fooling ourselves if we don't think that other teams aren't looking at those guys as viable players for them, and that they may come in and do that. And we're gonna probably end up in the draft looking for wide receivers, which is. We don't have the big marquee players and wide receivers this year. We'll get into it in a minute. Right. But at least.
But here's what I say. If you watch my channel, y'all know I love me some wide receivers. Now, I haven't been dropping much videos on them because I felt like, it's going to be kind of a stretch. But we are going to open up the gates for the conversation to draft some of these wide receivers that could slide. Because, last year I would have took Jamar Chase out the gate. We had to figure it out.
Because people need to understand, if Coop leaves, our wide receiver room is CeeDee Lamb and Simi Fehoko.
Yep.
That is it. Mm-hmm. That is it. That it's under contract right now.
Right.
So
and I think that we take some of these other players for granted, like Malik Turner. Malik Turner will resign in Dallas. Will he? Because what he's shown, he might get the same offer elsewhere, but get more opportunities. So it's like you definitely got to be aware of that. You can't take it for granted. And even maybe Cedric Wilson. Someone might look at Cedric Wilson and be like, I'm going to throw him a huge offer. So, We
haven't mentioned Brown, but it's fine.
Who did you say?
Noah Brown.
Yeah. Noah Brown, man. That fake CD clone in Noah Brown. I kept looking like, oh, why did they keep going to Noah Brown? Like, why? What is going on? I'm about to do it, Noah Brown. Matto says, even on draft night of day 2, the first thing out of Steven's mouth was these guys making the roster so they can save money on vets. Yeah. Mr. Krabs mentality, man. Just saving money, draft picks, comp picks, here and there. I just don't get it.
Accept them all.
Yeah. I remember because going to last year's draft, we're not going to use all of them draft picks. Absolutely not. They used every draft pick and got extra picks and used those as well. I'm just like, man, it's just hard. It says, we'll talk about this, Joseph. We need to draft Sky Moore and bring Beasley back. We need to adjust and to this decade and be like the Rams. We're not going to be like the Rams, y'all. I just don't think that's what's going to happen. We're just not going to go all in. They had that. They're at the Super Bowl parade.
Yeah, we're not gonna players.
Yeah, it's just not, man. It's just not. Let's see here. Jerry and Steven said the same old thing every year, and they suck for us and for disappointing. I'm not getting my hopes up, and I think that's where the disconnect is, right? I don't think Cowboys fans don't trust the players. I don't think Cowboys fans don't trust the coaching staff. I think we just don't trust the organization of the guys up top to make sure that they're doing everything best, that the people that actually are in charge of getting football things done can put them in the best situation. And I feel like that's why it's kind of doom and gloom, because you're going to have Jerry selling us some BS. We're going to have, it's just like, it's just constant drama. Like even today at the draft, to watch Mike McCarthy be at the combine, combine, take an interview, and have to answer questions about Sean Payton. Like, I would be exhausted about that. Like, man, I'm here at the combine. Ask me about some players. What are we looking for? So, I feel like this season is going to have to be on the players to overcome all of the distractions. I just feel that way.
Mm-hmm. What did Cheeto say? It's easier playing not under the lights.
Yeah, and so when I posted that interview, because that was one of my interviews, I posted that, and people were just like, Cheeto don't know nothing. He's soft. He couldn't handle the pressure. I'm like, that's not what he was saying. What he was saying is like he doesn't have to deal with all the extra stuff. You go, you work out, you practice, you play football, you go home. Like there's always just something extra in Dallas. Like today, we just find out that Dak Prescott's getting shoulder surgery. Okay, well,
actually 8 players that had surgery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I named 3. Can you name the other 5?
So I'm trying to think.
Gallup, Brandy, and Dak are the only 3 I know for sure.
Yeah. Did Tank have something? But here's how they dress it up. They always it's just a minor cleanup. It's just that cleanup.
Right.
Like, nah, man. Who just goes have a surgery to get things cleaned up a little bit? I'm not sure. Did Zeke have surgery or anything?
My understanding is Zeke's issue is rest.
Oh,
so
we didn't rest him though. We didn't rest him at all.
No, and you know what? I'm going to say Zeke is not, because that world collided with my racing world, and Zeke was in Florida for the IndyCar race yesterday.
Yeah.
So no surgery that we know of for Zeke at this point.
Yeah. So and like I said, when it comes to Mike McCarthy, it's just a lot you have to deal with. And to be honest with you, if I'm Mike McCarthy, man, I'm kind of like, man, let me out of here. Like, like let me go somewhere else where I can just focus on being on head coach. Let's see. Matto says Tyron and Tank are safe bets. Yeah, I'm sure Tyron has had some minor cleanup.
Right.
Minor cleanup. Let's see here. Line first for me. Walk on the rest of them. Okay, you're in the draft talk. Let's see here. Idea taking super fun for me. Yeah. All right. So here's another conversation. And I saw that there's a possibility that they could cut Anthony Brown and re-sign him at maybe a minimum. If I'm Anthony Brown, no.
Right.
No.
Somebody will take Anthony Brown. Somebody else will take Anthony Brown and pay him.
Yeah, he's coming off one of his best seasons. Like Anthony Brown was solid last year. So you're gonna cut me? Okay, cool. Like I just think that when it comes to the Cowboys, they don't have the allure that people think they have. Like, oh yeah, sure, cut me and re-sign me for a vet minimum after I'm coming off my best season. When you're sitting back and you're watching Cheeto Awuzie, who you played with in the Super Bowl at Cincy. And so you can go put yourself not only in a better situation financially, but also maybe from a football perspective going elsewhere. So it's like, no, I'm not coming back for a vet minimum just to do you guys a favor. So
right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're going to try to attempt some things like that, but absolutely not, because even if he does get cut, comes back for a vet minimum, then you're still going to have to compete with Kelvin Joseph, and then also they still have Jordan Lewis. So you're going to play for a minimum and compete where I can keep my contract? And like, absolutely not. So no homeboy discounts. Let's see. Cooper had a cleanup last year, and it took forever with him to come back. Yeah, it's like if you're having a real surgery, we have to go and do an incision and cut. Like, it's not just gonna be like, okay, next day I'm back to normal. Like, Dak is probably going to be out of commission for probably like a month or so. So I mean, probably getting ready for maybe OTAs. It's like, yeah, there's no easy turnaround when you're getting these cleanup surgery. So
Right.
I don't know. It's frustrating. It's frustrating as a Cowboys fan. But free agency, off season, y'all. That's why I really don't like to talk about it much because you ain't getting nothing. Like when you go to the store and your mom just tell you don't ask for nothing because you ain't getting nothing. There ain't no point of us going out and talking about top free agents, and it's just not happening. We will probably sign the last day of free agents. Some guys that kind of lingered around, find some discount deals, and it is what it is. The Tyrann Matthews and some of these guys that you guys be talking about, it just ain't happening. So it's like, yeah. Our thing is the draft. That's where the fun really starts because you might get you something fun as a little surprise box. Like get some Amazon box, you might get a surprise. So let me ask you this, Camber. When it comes to the draft, what is the primary positions that you're looking at 24?
Okay, at 24. Well, biggest thing's going to be is who's actually there. This is such a crazy great. Those in that first 20 is so deep in defensive end. That edge player, they are there in the top 20. Do not fool yourselves. If Randy goes, his replacement's at edge. And I have to think that we'll be looking at, if that does happen, I want to say that we're going to go edge. The offensive tackles that are there, I honestly, looking at the board, think that the best ones will be gone by the time they get to us. And then you've got a question at the point that Linderbaum could or could not be there. But are we truly going to replace Travis or Biotish at center? Because it's a huge drop off. It's a huge drop off in centers. You've got Linderbaum, and then it drops all the way down to probably somewhere in the 160s, 170s to that cat at ASU. So for me, this is a hard question because what are we going to do in free agency? At safety, once again, we're in that situation, guys, that if we don't sign Curse, if we don't bring back Malik Hooker, if Kazee goes, we now have a safety room that consists of Donovan Wilson and Izzy. So, at that point in time, do you start looking at Brisker or Hill? It's just, this is going to be chaotic. It is.
It is. Because I think there's so many question marks surrounding where we're going into this season. Like, I feel like last year it's kind of easy. Like, we needed a corner, right? We needed a corner. It was like, all right, well, the corners fell through, so we ended up taking Micah because that's like the best option. But it's like, now it's like, as you mentioned, I think we will sign Jaron Curse. If we don't sign Jaron Curse, y'all, I'm done. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I quit. Like, whatever. It is what it is. Like, I'll become one of those casual Cowboys fans that everyone hates and kind of just goes to the games just to have fun, have a drink with my pinky up. I'll become one of those people. Like, oh, I had fun if we do not sign Jaron Curse. But I think we will. But you mentioned another player, Randy Gregory. What is that conversation going to be like? Now, we've been loyal to Randy Gregory. Is he going to be loyal to us? I don't know. It's going to be interesting thing to see how that works. But also on the other side with DeMarcus Lawrence, we talked about Amari Cooper, but you can save some money if you get out of DeMarcus Lawrence's contract as well. So that really does open up the conversation for defensive end being drafted at 24. I think it was CBS, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, mocked us today, and they had my guy George Karliftis out of Purdue? Not Purdue. Purdue, yeah, Purdue, yeah. They're starting to all blend together. Out of Purdue to defensive end, and I like him. I think he's a solid player, but is he going to be able to step in and be day one ready? I think he's more of a project with that size and physicality versus instant impact that we got last year in Micah. So, wide receiver can be.
Good boy. Jermaine Johnson will be there. I think he goes before that.
Yeah. See, I don't want Jermaine Johnson. Well, I do want Jermaine Johnson. I want Jermaine Johnson. Right, but I'm not getting my hopes up, Camber, because every time I do that, people build me up on draft day only to watch me bust on camera. And they did that to me last year. I was like, nah, there's zero chance we're going to get Asante Samuel Jr. So I was like, cool, having a great day to the draft. And chat, we're going to get him, Tuck. You got to believe. You got to believe. And we're sitting back watching the board. It's going to happen, Tuck. It's going to happen. No, this year, I don't want him. I don't care. I can care less, right? But then we're going to draft them, and everybody's going to hold me responsible for Jermaine Johnson. Like, you better have Micah Parsons type numbers. Everyone's going to come at me.
Let me circle back to something about Randy that I think people need to remember, because everybody says, oh, we've been loyal to him, everything like that. Absolutely, we've been loyal to him. People need to remember a little over a year ago, Randy was working at Amazon. Mm-hmm. He is now 30 years old, and this is the contract that's going to set his family up for life. And I can't who's his agent? His agent's tough. He's got a tough agent. I can't remember his name.
He's not the same. He doesn't have the same one as D-Law, does he?
No, I want to say it's the same one as. It's totally slipping my brain. Totally.
But his agent's going to want to get paid.
Out of Oklahoma, that's with, is it Jarwin or Schultz? It's one of our tight ends. God, it's just totally slipping my mind. All I know is it's a tough agent that he has. So we just kind of got to keep, as much as we love our players and we love that story, we need to remember this is someone's future.
Right.
And it's a business.
Here's where I feel when it comes to Randy Gregory. The Cowboys have to come with a respectable offer. They can't just completely lowball them and be like, hey, man, we like, nah, like 6 or 7 mil or 8 mil. Like, if it's anything around that way, you're like, oh, hell no. Like, you have to give them around 10, 11-ish. Maybe, have some incentives built in there. I think that will be where he'll kind of slide into. But if you come out and just like, hey, Randy, we've been loyal since we drafted you. We stuck by your side, and we're going to offer you a $7 million too. You're like, no, absolutely not. So, but Stephen Jones, Cowboys, when it comes to negotiations, they never just really flat out give you what you deserve. So, they might ruffle a few feathers, and Randy Gregory might be saying, absolutely not, I'm out. Look to my guy, Mike Tagg says he won't be done. You'll be back on the Kool-Aid in September. I don't know, man. I keep asking myself, you can answer this too, Camber. What would be the thing that could get you drunk back off the Cowboys Kool-Aid? I think the hard part was how the season went this year. Like, we had everything going right, and it still didn't. It's like, that's how it ended. Like, it's like, I feel like it's the episode of Lost. If you ever watched the TV show Lost, I spent all that time watching the episodes of Lost, and in the final episode, I'm just like, that was it. Like, I don't.
But I'll tell you, Jerry Jones is a hope dealer, and he's good at it. Man, he's good at it. Every year I tell myself, I'm going to wait. I ain't going to do it. Right. By the time that first game rolls around, I'm like, oh, boy.
Right, yeah, here we go. So there'll be something. I don't know what it's going to be, When we start to get into the summer, and maybe we'll see like CeeDee Lamb workout videos on Instagram, and we'll start to fight back into it. But as of right now, Cowboys Nation, I'm trying. I'm trying. But I got nothing, man. Like, salute to my guy, my guy Rome. Yeah. I was like, all right, then get Dak surgery, and it's like, you know what? Like, I just need something to uplift, but I just got nothing to really go into. Another position that I'm looking at, you mentioned offensive tackle, but offensive guard, I believe that can be an area to address. Now, here's what I've been saying, Cowboys Nation. It all depends on what is the deal when it comes to Lyle Collins and Terrence Steele. You have to answer that question because, if you're going to move on from Lyle, okay, then do it. But if not, I don't want the musical chairs with the offensive line.
No, never again.
Whoever your right tackle wins the job, perfectly fine, and just keep it that way. But if you're going to do what some people have brought up is the best 5 scenario, maybe moving Lyle back to guard, well, then does the need for guard really become a priority in the first round? Because there are some other guys you could get in the later rounds versus that center position. But when it comes to the center position, like you said, I think they're going to stand by Tyler. I think they're going to, try to ride him out because they did draft him. He's pretty much had his first season. Didn't play horrible, but it just wasn't what we are accustomed to in Dallas because, we had Frederick all those years. So maybe they're going to give him another chance. You might get another guy behind him, but I really don't know when it comes to this pick.
Right. Neither do I. And I agree with you. I mean, if there's any chance at all that we're moving on from Biotish, it would be taking Linderbaum. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really, really an outside chance. I think there's a team that's going to take him before 24, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But if, like you say, if they do move Lael into a guard, the good thing is there's a couple of hidden gems deeper in with the offensive tackle, like Tyler Smith at Tulsa.
Yeah.
And that kid, he's something. He's something, and we'll get him a little bit later. I think Petit Ferrer will be gone before we would probably address that if we're looking at BPA at 24 and things, because he's definitely more a second round, maybe early third kind of guy. And then you got like Trevor Penning from, is it North Iowa? Mm-hmm. Yeah, North Iowa. He's out there. So there's some choices there, but I just feel like they're going to address it in different ways, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. I just, and that's the thing. I think they got so many different ways they can move with this draft. We really won't know till free agency. Now, this is the first week, of course, of the combine, so some guys are about to shoot up. You mentioned Trevor Penning. Yeah. His name was kind of high, so I think he's going to be one of those guys that shoot up, maybe, early second, maybe even into the first, because tackles are going to go primarily first. Like, they're going to go first off the board. And since there's really no clear-cut quarterback, I think it's going to open up for people to take the best players that's on the board. So, the guy, Professor O, says keep an eye on Luke Fortner in the round 3 or 4 for Dallas. Yeah. The LSU guard, Ingram. Ingram. Keep an eye on him. It's also
Ed Ingram.
Yeah, Ingram. I like Ed Ingram. My guy Cole Strange. I'm a huge Cole Strange fan. There's a lot of guards that we can get.
Yeah, Taylor. You got Darian Kennard. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of, you've got some options out there.
Right. Yeah. If you're wanting a guard, but like I feel like if they took Kenyon Green, it's not like we're gonna be out there in Vegas jumping on tables or anything. It's like, okay, good pick. What's for dinner? All right, let's get up out of here. So it's like I feel like the Cowboys, if they take Kenyon Green, he gives his position flex. He's a guard. He can play tackle. He can move little things and snap a little bit. Okay, cool. It's serviceable. But there really isn't that player I can think of that's going to spin the mindset of Cowboys fans that we took. Like, even if we took Jameson Williams or, we took a Treylon Burks, it's like, I know some of the fan base is going to be like, another wide receiver. Why did you do that? We should have kept Amari. Like, it's just going to be a constant. Now, we did mention Brisker. My guy O is a great, he's a fan of Brisker. Maybe Cowboys Nation, this is the year we finally draft our safety. Because Stephen Jones, Stephen Big Mouth Jones, mentioned it last year in the draft that they were going to draft Trayvon Moehrig, and the Raiders jumped them and ahead and snatched him. It was like, that safety position, we tried to get it, but we just got jumped. So maybe they're thinking about drafting a safety. Maybe that can spin a little bit because there are some guys. I know people have been dropping videos on Hill, also Jalen Petrie. Like, there's some safeties a lot of people like. So maybe that's going to be the play.
Ross from Maryland should probably be there about the third, and he's something too.
Yeah. Let's see. My guy Dom says wrong. Green will make us extremely happy. No, it won't. Bro. Kenyon Green is going to make us happy who's really rooted, but like for the Cowboys fans are just kind of like casuals and really don't tune in like that, they're not going to be excited about guard or Kenyon Green. It's going to be like, it's not. So it's like this, it's going to be different. Like, I'll be fine. Like, if we drafted Linderbaum, I'll be like, hell yeah, let's go. We're cool. But a lot of people are like, a center, why we draft a center? So let's see here. My guy Reaper says I still want Dean if he's there. Listen, y'all, let's talk about Nakobe Dean. I've been on the Nakobe Dean thing way back, in college football, pairing him up with Micah. Y'all might want to kiss Nakobe Dean bye after this week, man. I feel like once he gets into the combine, he is going to jump because you're going to have Lloyd go and you're going to have Dean go. I just don't see how he gets all the way to 24. I just don't see it happening, especially with the Micah Parsons factor. Like I said this is, kind of like when Zeke got drafted, right? Zeke made drafting running backs hot again. I feel like Micah Parsons is going to do the same thing for linebackers because teams are going to fear out missing out. And so I feel like you're going to probably have Lloyd and then Dean go, I don't know.
You got Walker, you got Tyndall. I mean, did Georgia just kick out some linebackers this
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's others outside of that, that we could bring in.
I have a hidden gem, and people are starting to catch on to him, and I didn't want them to, but I'll tell you what, and you guys, and most of you probably didn't even hear about him, and I know you didn't hear about him before the Senior Bowl. Troy Anderson from Montana State University. You guys, he's a monster. He's a beast. He's a 4.0 student. He played quarterback, running back, and linebacker. And I can guarantee you if he had played linebacker the entire time he was at Montana State, y'all would have heard about him 2 years ago.
Right.
But he's one of my hidden gems that I've been watching for a while. And now people are catching on. I'm like, shh.
Yeah. It's kind of like fantasy football. You can't speak it too loud because it's sometimes I'm like, damn, should I even drop a video? Because I don't want other fan bases watching this guy like Jalen Tolbert's one another guys. I see a few people are Jets fans oh man, we'll love him. Oh whoa. So yeah. He's a big guy. He's 6'4", I believe, 233.
He's 6'3", 245.
Yeah.
And just an all-around athlete. I mean, and like I said, super smart. He's going to interview well. Such a personable guy. They honestly are saying that he's probably the best football player to ever come out of Montana State, which I had to hear about him all season because my dad, my grandmother, my grandfather, they all went to Montana State. So my dad was just digging it in me. You gotta check out this guy, Cam. You gotta watch this kid. He's it. And half the time I'm like, yeah, Dad. Right. And then I saw him. I was like, holy cow.
real deal, right? Yeah. So
yeah,
maybe. Well, I got film, y'all, but I don't got Montana State film. So yeah, but we can try. Let's see if we can find it. Andrew says yes. Love Troy Anderson. Talk to him, Camber. Yeah, so that's why I have her here because she does some of the most incredible draft content. So you gotta give her a follow. So, let's see here. Matt was I like Troy too. Dean will go high. Everyone wants the next Micah, so they'll take him on. Yeah, I agree. I think that's where we're at. It's just you know what? Once Lloyd probably goes, you know what? I'm not gonna let another linebacker. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of Nakobe Dean, but he's gonna be for another team that we don't want to see him for. I feel like he's going to be in the NFC East. But I think Philly's going to grab him.
Not to say those Eagles are going to.
Yeah, I feel like they are. It's just I need the Eagles to really fumble those 3 picks they have. I just need them to kind of reach on 2 or trade them away for something.
I was going to say, or maybe for quarterback. I mean, that would be such a good scenario that they start dealing those picks for another quarterback and that they can screw up again.
They should trade and get Carson Wentz back. I mean, why not? Just reset it,
Right?
Yeah, just get Carson Wentz back. Guy says, Petrie, the Baylor safety reminds me of a smaller Curse if you lose him. I'll like him in a second. Yeah, there's another guy that reminds me of J-Ron Curse as well, but we ain't losing J-Ron Curse, y'all. Listen, damn it, Cowboys Nation. We're going to lose a lot of things this offseason. We ain't losing no J-Ron Curse because I will come unglued. But if you take a look at Smoke Monday out of Auburn, he kind of has that J-Ron Curse type body as well that you can utilize. But I don't care about that, right? So we're not losing J-Ron Curse. Says Matto says Philly is terrible at drafting. I know. I know, man. But it's with the 3 picks kind of lower, how can you really miss? You really put on auto draft and still hit. Quay Walker, another guy out of Georgia, yeah.
They traded us where we got a pick and Micah Parsons.
Right, yeah.
So
right.
They'll figure
Exactly. Now, another position that's my favorite position to really scout is tight end. And you're familiar with the tight ends. There are tons of tight ends in this draft. Where would you take a tight end for the Dallas Cowboys? Because I know the conversation's floating about franchise tagging Dalton Schultz. I personally would not do that. But I don't know what Dallas thinks anymore. So they might do something stupid like franchise tag a tight end for $10 million, where you can go and just sign him, play for 12 and be good. But as far as the tight end position is concerned, if we lose Dalton Schultz, where would you take a tight end?
Honestly, here's the deal. The tight ends are all really, really grouped together, and it looks like they're all going to go somewhere in the third. And I mean, you got Dulich from UCLA, Lightney from Coastal Carolina, McBride from Colorado. Two of them that we aren't going to see at the combine, Ruckert from Ohio State, my boy, Cade Otton at UW, they both were injured. So we're not going to see them perform at the combine, but they're super talented. They're super high up. It's going to be kind of hard to... Number one tight end is wide open. No one has a hold of exactly who's going to be it.
Yeah.
But what I know is that they're all really close. They're a lot of good sure-handed blocking. How about a blocking?
Right. Blocking tight end.
Loved it with tight end.
Right. They block too?
Yeah, what? I mean, they're not just big body wide receivers anymore.
Right.
But what I feel is going to happen is it's going to be one of those things. That first one's going to go and everybody's going to panic. And boom, 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 boom. That first 6 of them that are above everybody else are going to go in order.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And so that's why I've been, like I said, and here's the thing, y'all. Y'all know when we do mock drafts, you got to kind of, it's just take it with a grain of salt. It's like a damn video game. But as soon as one goes, it's just like boom, 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 boom. We're just like, damn. So I'm sitting like, oh, I'll get a tight end in the third. You're like, wait, where did Jeremy Rucker go? Where did Isaiah Likely? Whoa, what's going on? So I feel like that's how it's going to be. I think that Jalen Watermere will be probably the first one to get pulled, maybe second round, but it depends on where it is in that second round. You might see, and my guy is Trey McBride. I saw Brian just mention another my guy, Cole Turner out of Nevada, also Charlie Kohler out of Iowa State. So there is so many tight ends, Camber. If I did not walk out off that Vegas strip with one of them, I am going to be upset. Like, just give me one. So there's a lot of quality guys that I think can really contribute, early in the NFL versus last year. It's just like one little special tight end that we so I like Cole Turner out of Nevada. Let's see here. Didn't Rucker hurt himself in the Senior Bowl? It may have been the Senior Bowl. I'm not sure.
Rucker did. Rucker injured himself in the Senior Bowl. Cade Otton was in the last game. It was in the Apple Bowl in November. So, both of them that we won't see them at the combine.
Yeah. So
I'm sure they're there interviewing and medicals.
Yeah, it says fourth round is where I want to pick one. You might not get one before. I mean, you can probably get one, but not like she said, that cluster. I think you might have to go in third. I think you're gonna have to do it in the third. I think we have 2 third-round picks as of right now. So I think, so you probably grab one in the third. That's where I'm going. Before I let you go, Camber, so you mentioned it's Combine Week. Give me 3 players that you are really focused on from the Dallas Cowboys point of view as far as their combine.
Okay. From the Cowboys point of view. Okay, so here's my thing. I'm just going to throw it out there. Nobody's got it on their radar. Nobody thinks we're going to take a corner. And y'all know that I have to talk about another University of Washington player. And while my love is Trent McDuffie, I truly think he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone 424. I mean, one Dane Brugler says he's his number 1 corner on his board, right? Okay. Kyler Gordon is a Dan Quinn prototype corner.
Okay.
And what is going to happen is in this combine, he is going to blow it up. He is going to probably be one of the top 3 to raise his value. As a sophomore, his short shuttle was a 3.87. His 3-cone was a 6.52, and his vertical was a 4.25. As a sophomore. So I think that we may be looking for a corner, not knowing everything that's going to be going on. And I think if Kyler Gordon's there, Dan Quinn puts his foot down and Kyler Gordon becomes a Cowboy. So that's what I'm looking for. Late deep, looking at nose tackles, John Ridgeway.
Okay.
He's a good, he's going to be somewhere in the 3rd, the 4th. I think he's going to be another one in that. Just to answer Andrew.
Yeah.
I went to the University of Washington.
Yeah, like,
so
can you not tell? And my guy O says that his friend is training McDuffie and Gordon for their pro day.
Nice. They're both amazing. I'm going to tell you right now, both of those corners are going to become very, very big stars in the NFL. And the University of Washington is becoming the new DBU. You can hate me if you want for saying it.
I know a team in Tallahassee. We're had a down year this year. It's a team in Tallahassee. We've been producing a little bit.
I'd like to mention Booth Baker. But, and I mean, I'm just gonna say the obvious. Sky Moore. How do we not talk about the draft and not talk about Sky Moore?
Yeah.
So there's the 3rd.
Yeah.
So
I think Sky Moore is becoming the Cowboys' favorite. I think Sky Moore could maybe swing the pendulum amongst Cowboys fans, right? Because when I dropped my video, and I dropped that video January, I think, right? It was just like
right.
That's
and he's a true slot, if you ask me.
Yeah,
do you think he's a true slot?
Huh?
Or would you? Do you think he's a true slot?
I don't think he's just a true slot. I think he can play inside and outside. Yeah, I think he can do it all. But he'll be nice in the slot because I feel like with what we have, he would be the slot guy, and you would have CD outside and Cooper outside, hopefully. So I feel like he can play a little bit of both. This Sky Moore, Jeff said he was Cooper Cup. And I didn't stretch it that way. I'm not going that far.
Another Washington boy. I might find out.
There you go. There you go. My guy O says UGA just draft the whole Georgia defense. Yeah, because I like Derek Kendricks as well, corner as well.
Right. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different opportunity out there. Like I said, it's really just hard to gauge it right now where the Cowboys are looking. There's going to be some surprises. There's going to be somebody that kind of slid through the grid and moved up in the Cowboys board. But this is the one thing we can trust, Cowboys fans. So this is the one thing that should give you a glimmer of hope. Okay, I can breathe a little bit because I trust Will McClay and I trust the Cowboys in the draft. That's the one thing kind of just like, all right, do your thing. I don't need to watch you in the kitchen. Free agency, I can toss all that stuff out the window, right? But I feel like when the Cowboys, come into the draft, I feel like their scouting team does a tremendous job and they find great value. I feel like last year's draft was incredible. The year before that was incredible. So it's like, why lose faith now? But I'm going to be at the draft in Vegas. Camber's going to be out there. Y'all know what I already told y'all, fam. Day 2, don't look for me anything. Y'all going to have to tweet me and tell me who we drafted because I'm going to be out there having a good old time out there on the strip. So we're definitely going to link up and bring more draft content. But Camber, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. Like I said, go ahead and give her a follow. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You find me on Twitter at TOO_MuchCamber, and pretty soon you'll find me in another special place. You all hear about it soon.
Yeah, you guys will hear about it. So definitely lock in. And of course, you guys can find me here on YouTube at CFO Sports. So we're gonna do a new rollout with all that stuff, man. So definitely stay tuned to that. Like I said, we're gonna continue doing the same content, just on a bigger platform. So we might have, some other people, other guests on from outside the NFL, agents, all sorts of stuff. We're gonna get rid of that whole Cowboys fans only, stuff right there. And then, of course, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. JTuck151, CowboysFansOnly.com to get your merch. And my guy Andrew says, "Oh, your boy Tuck getting lit. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. As soon as I touch down, I'm gonna get me a few margaritas. We're gonna go out to the draft, have a good time. But day 2,
I'll be by the pool for day 2.
yeah, day 2, we're at the pool. We're pooling and cooling, man. So that's where I'm gonna be at, man. So hey, a stress-free draft. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, and Nick Cross, safety from Maryland. Yeah, there's a lot of good people out there. We're gonna do some more mock draft content. We got a new thing that we're gonna roll out. Let me check my phone and make sure they responded back. Let's see here. Yeah, we might do something new on Friday nights, and I think we're gonna call it Margaritas and Mocks. Everyone's been coming to the channel. We're gonna have some margaritas poured up. We're gonna sit back and we're gonna mock draft and talk draft content. So I got a few guests coming on. They're just waiting to text me back. So definitely tune in that for Friday night. And then yeah, we got more shows coming out, Cowboys Nation. Like I said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I cannot do this without you guys. Your support has been tremendous and it's given me so many different opportunities. You know, I kind of feel like it was National Signing Day. I've been having so many opportunities and talking to so many people, but you know, the one thing that I want to make sure everyone understands is that this will always be my priority is the Dallas Cowboys community. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. Go Cowboys.